the gut is a barrier, but it can leak, right? So what we're exposed to in our body from our environment can be food, pathogens, toxins that are in the gut also. So when you have a leaky gut, then the barrier has been compromised. It's inflamed. So you have a lot of immune system effects in the gut because it's one of the biggest barriers that we have. And we have trillions and trillions and trillions of pathogens and good bacteria also that are in the gut that we interact with. Welcome to My Pods Podcast. I'm Dr. Joe Schneider, and after 35 years as a functional neurologist, a personal journey through stroke recovery, and helping thousands of patients, I'm here to share breakthrough solutions for POTS and neurological wellness. From getting out of bed in the morning to rebuilding your nervous system, this is your guide to understanding and overcoming neurological challenges. Let's begin this journey to recovery together. Hello, this is Dr. Joe from the Hope Brain and Body Recovery Center and also the Hope Regeneration Center. I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. It's been really busy, taking care of patients, examining new cases and things like that. But I mean, our results have been just phenomenal in the office. So that's great. We just came back from Pittsburgh where we're doing more training for the Neuro AI, which is a goggle that evaluates eye movement and balance, and also a chair, rotating chair. So we had the goggle in the office, but we do not have the rotating chair yet. So we're praying real hard that it happens for us as soon as we can. So what we want to talk about today is barrier systems in the body. So the barrier systems in the body, and the one that we know most about, and we've talked about constantly, and it's in many of the information that's going out about dysautonomia, and that's the gut reaction that we have. So the leaky gut is a barrier. The gut is a barrier, but it can leak, right? And so can other barriers in the body. So what we're exposed to in our body from our environment can be food, pathogens that are in the gut, okay? And also toxins that are in the gut also. So they're the three most damaging things that can happen to the gut barrier. So when you have a leaky gut, then the barrier has been compromised, it's inflamed, and particles of food go into your body. And you get an immune reaction to those food particles, and an immune reaction to toxins, and an immune reaction to pathogens that may leak from the gut into your body that comes in contact with your bloodstream. So you have a lot of immune system effects in the gut because it's one of the biggest barriers that we have. And we have trillions and trillions and trillions of pathogens and good bacteria also that are in the gut that we interact with. So it's gotten down to, we talk about the gut-brain barrier or the gut-brain effect from that inflammation that occurs in the gut that affects the brain itself and can affect your brain health, which is very important. And it's one of the tests that we do, the functional medicine tests that we do in the office for every one of our patients, is looking at food allergies. We also look at pathogens, and we'll also look at toxins. So, but the barriers, there are many other barriers. You know, another important barrier is our skin, what we put on our skin, right? So we can use cosmetics, or we use creams that have different chemicals in it that are not good for our body and our bloodstream. So skin can leak, can create issues in the body. Skin can have effects. It can have rashes. It can have wounds that develop on the skin that can cause the body to have to react to whatever the environment is giving it, and also has to react to whatever is going on in the body. So we know wounds can form with diabetes, and wounds can form from chemotherapy. Wounds can form from different therapies that we get for some catastrophic diseases. But the most common one is diabetic effects. Now, when that happens and we're getting gut compromise barriers, skin compromise barriers, then what will happen is we have a blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier can become inflamed and it can become leaky. The blood-brain barrier's function is to keep out chemicals, pathogens, and inflammatory effects that can injure brain tissue. So that's really, really important also. So when we look at that and we look at those three different barriers, they're very important. Now, what other barrier can be affected? Well, it can be our sinus. We get inflammation and infection through our sinus that can go into the blood-brain barrier because it's very close to it. And then we can also get barrier issues with your entire pulmonary system or lungs. So we can get things in our lungs that are absorbed into our body. Now, we may have like allergies or mast cell reactions or histamine reactions to allergic reactions in the body. We can have pathogens that go into our lungs and cause pneumonia, which will have an effect on that barrier. It'll inflame our system. One of the signs of that would be a fever. A fever can happen as a way of killing microorganisms that get into our body and can have some major effects on inflammation of the blood-brain barrier and then leaky issues into the brain causing inflammation. So when you start to look at the health of the brain, then you can see that the brain interacts with many, many systems, not just the gut, but your pulmonary system, your skin, and so you have to analyze all those issues to make sure that you're knowing the primary effects of inflammation of the brain in the body. Now we do brain core QEEGs. Now brain core is a 19-point amplitude assessment of brain waves. So we look at delta, which is a low frequency, then theta, which is a little higher frequency, alpha, beta, high beta waves. We look at those waves. And we're looking at not only the waves and the waveforms, but if there's excited activity in the brain. Too much excited activity is an indication, not a diagnosis, but an indication that the brain is inflamed. And if the brain's inflamed, then it degenerates. It doesn't function the way it should. So we have to remove the inflammation, and then we have to look at the different systems and evaluate the different systems in the body that we have compromise in, especially in our barrier systems. And the blood-brain barrier is one of those systems that are very, very important for the functionality of the brain itself and our entire nervous system. Now, one of the therapies that we use that anyone can really get for their home is I have a hydrogen system, right? So elemental hydrogen is a anti-inflammatory effect, right? So I breathe every morning 600 milliliters of hydrogen from our hydrogen generator, which we use distilled water for. And then I breathe that into my lungs, and it just kind of goes through my body and actually decreases inflammation, improves mitochondrial function, and decreases oxidant activity. That's why we take antioxidants, but it decreases oxidant activity. So it's non-toxic. Hydrogen is non-toxic to the body. And so I do it every morning for an hour because I've had 3 concussions and a stroke. And I'm still recovering from all that. But right now, I'm doing at least 30 minutes to 40 minutes of exercise every day. I could not do that last year. I'm doing it this year. And I would suggest that everyone can go on Amazon, or you can go on Vital Reaction, the website Vital Reaction. And Vital Reaction, they actually sell the hydrogen generators that we have in the office that we're using for our patients, and I use personally. Now, in every degenerative disease, we have inflammation in the brain. So if you talk about Alzheimer's, you talk about dementia, you're talking about Parkinson's disease, and these are degenerative diseases that are becoming very epidemic in our society. So I think it'd be a good routine that as a family, you purchase a hydrogen generator. And so I would purchase one that's at least 600 milliliters of hydrogen. And I would also look for, there's others that can go up to 3,000 milliliters of hydrogen and 1,500 milliliters of oxygen also. But I think 600 is kind of a nice thing that I've been using, and I think that's enough. You can also get hydrogen tablets and drink it, and that will have a good effect in the body, even in their digestive tract. But I really particularly like the inhaled oxygen and the oxygen generator and the hydrogen generator for that. And I think that would take care of inflammation in the system and improve any type of rehab that you do for your brain, especially with patients, and it's called My POTS podcast for a reason, that have POTS or dysautonomia. So I think that the tip for today is that you need to worry about all the barriers in the body, and a good therapy for that you can use not just for yourself, but for your entire family, is to breathe hydrogen. So every morning you get up, I breathe my hydrogen. You can pray, you can watch television, you can do any routine that you can do, because you can just sit there and read your Bible, read any book that you like, and have a healthy brain. So this is Dr. Joe Schneider coming from the Hope Brain and Body Recovery Center and the Hope Regeneration Center. And I think this is your tip for the day so that you can stay healthy, drive down your inflammation, and protect your barriers. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on My POTS podcast. If you're looking for more support, visit us at hopebraincenter.com or follow our journey on TikTok, where we share daily insights and inspiration. Remember, healing is possible. I'm living proof. I'm Dr. Joseph Schneider, and I'll see you next time as we continue exploring paths to recovery.